All right, so today is Monday, September 24, 2018. This is the meeting of the Kubernetes CSI implementation group. So first on the agenda, we wanted to go through what the 1.12 release plan was, or where we are in this release plan. Today is the 24th. Technically, we should be here. In order for us to cut the sidecar repos, we need to ensure that the sidecar container changes have been merged. The external provisioner topology updates PR was out as of Friday. That still needs to be reviewed and merged. What other outstanding changes are there, and how close are they to being completed?
There's one change from me, which is for the CSI driver. I don't know where that's being tracked here.
I believe it's probably in the work section down here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put my PR on that.
Okay. Here.
Oh yeah, at the bottom. Okay. But I'll put my PR right when you have SIG containers. We're looking at that stuff right now.
Okay.
So yeah, that PR is up.
Okay.
And so one of the issues with that PR is that, not really an issue, but driver registrar main, the beginning, has no unit test. And we're going to have to fix that, I would say, in later releases. But so I have no way to test it from Travis. I tested it myself.
Okay. Can you open up an issue to track that?
Yeah, I definitely can. Yeah, you got it.
Cool. And then I think the third one was the external attacher changes. And based on my conversation with Chang, it sounded like either Vlad or Jan were going to pick it up.
Jan picked it up. He did it last week, and I reviewed it, and it's already merged.
Awesome. Okay, so that's looking good. Hopefully we can get these merged by end of day today, the 24th. And then once that's done, we can update the host path driver and cut the 0.4 branch and then cut the 0.40 tag tomorrow.
I have this PR, which is just to update those the actually the Go package, that file. Yeah, just that one file, because the vendor files are not checked in there, right? So just add.
Yep, that's perfect. So that needs to get merged before, right?
Yeah.
That should have happened as part of this step, right?
Yeah, I can do that right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And this is on the driver's package. Yeah, it looks like we just missed that one. Okay, perfect. Thanks for catching that. So update host path driver. And then let's say Luis and Saad will cut tomorrow. Luis, if all the sidecar containers are merged, we can go ahead and cut the branch.
Yep. Should I wait for like let's do it kind of on the channel, on the Slack channel?
Yeah, we can just send out a, hey, is everybody okay on this CSI channel if we go ahead and do this? Just verify these PRs are all merged.
You got it.
And then we can go ahead and do that. And then...
We just need reviewers for those, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, I think I got confused here. This was for the host path driver. Oops. So I'm going to leave the host path driver to Xing. Xing, yeah, you could probably start working on this today.
Okay, yeah. Since it's merged, right? So yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
And this means just the whole host path driver. I think the host path driver we were planning on moving into a separate repo. The repo is now
okay. So we'll do that later, right? Because right now,
okay. As long as I think we have a 0.40 container, we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I think the upload container part I need to ask Luis, because I don't think I have permission to upload to that official place.
Got it.
So I'll cut it first and we'll talk to you.
Perfect.
It's a great question, and the thing I like to do is that every branch will itself push to that. Every Travis, just so you know, every Travis run has the access to push. Right?
Oh, is it automatic or is it?
Yeah, it's automatic. So that's how we push all canaries. So what we can do is that when we branch, we tell that Travis in that branch to push up according to the makefile version. The makefile has the tag.
Okay.
So all you have to do is change the tag in the makefile, and let Travis say, go ahead and push this up, and I can take this offline with you, but it's pretty easy.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, so plan is today, merge the changes and update host path. Tomorrow, cut the new branch and containers, the RC branch tag. Then the day after, Patrick can do some more validation to verify everything works together. And then 27th is when the official release is. Luckily, it got moved 2 days. Originally, it was planned for the 25th. It got moved to the 27th. So after the release, we have to modify the dependencies again to point to 112.0. And then once that's done, we can cut a new 0.40 tag in container. And then go ahead and update on Friday the end-to-end test to point to 0.40 and get that cherry picked to 112. And then after the weekend, next week, we can work on the tests for snapshots and for topology. And if we happen to get those in earlier, that's perfectly fine as well. Does that seem okay to everyone? I think, Patrick, there were some questions about testing and things weren't quite working right. Do we have an update on that? Looks like Patrick's not on the line. Luis, Vlad, do you guys know what the status of that is?
No, I have not talked to
him. So it's basically the same, similar issues we were just talking about. Having issues starting, I think it was hostpath. I think for him it was doing end-to-end testing, and he had created this PR. I am not entirely sure. I think he pinged me on Slack saying, because I was asking about how to get a local cluster set up, and he had pinged me back to that PR. So I'm guessing it is working, but this is all for end-to-end testing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's basically the same issues where we need to kind of commit all that's needed to get with all the changes that we have going in. Have a solid set of instructions and of parameters, et cetera, that's needed.
Okay. So we just need to document those.
Yeah.
Okay. And any PRs that currently need to be merged, or are they all merged, the ones that we're going to unblock them?
Those are the two that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And like I said, both of them have to do with E2E.
Got it. Okay. Jan, do you know anything more about this?
I don't know if Jan's on.
Yeah, he's online.
Okay, we'll follow up offline on this then. It looks like there are PRs out for this. I want to see if we can get them in for 112 and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, they're marked as bugs, and they're pretty much, both of them have to do, I think it's only one PR. I didn't see another one. Okay. But it has to do with the E2E, and most importantly, how to, all that's needed to get the E2E to run properly.
Got it. Okay, so that's good. It's not something more fundamental. Once the RBAC rules are fixed, it sounds like it's
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So I think we're still looking good here in terms of
Thanks.
schedule. We just need to make sure that all these outstanding PRs are merged by end of day today, and then we should be good to go. After the review of the release plan, other miscellaneous items, there was the manual creation of CRD objects. I believe this PR has already been merged. Is that correct, Jane?
Everything in that area has been merged.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's the correct issue, but
okay, I'll just go ahead and stop tracking this. And CRD registration aiming to be ready by 9/24, which is today. And it looks like Luis has the PRs out. They just need to be reviewed and merged. Any of these issues you want to discuss, Luis, or are we okay?
Let's see. Let me look. I'm just trying to get your view bigger.
Sure.
If the mode's not present, that it satisfies all those requirements.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. We actually have a new -- mode equals on driver registrar, and if you don't set that, it will default to the old one.
Perfect. All right.
And I know, Jan, just so you know, I did pay attention, Jan, to your comment of why is it that we're putting this into driver registrar. You put that on the channel, and I know he's not on there, but I just wanted to comment. Why is it that we chose to put in driver registrar instead of creating a new one,
Right.
and or a new repo? And then I just think that first was for time, we needed and to kind of piggybacked on top of the driver registrar, which is what it's trying to do.
Yeah, you don't have to recreate all these RBAC rules and everything.
Yeah, exactly right. So we just kind of went on top of that. Since it is registering against a node, we're now registering with Kubernetes. So,
yeah, arguably, if it's a cleaner design to do it separately, we could consider that for another release.
Exactly right.
Next up is error from Kubelet. Mount device failed because driver name not found. There's a PR already open about this. I think it just needs to be approved. This one. So if anyone's interested, please help review that PR. It looks fairly straightforward. Then we have attached provisioner RBAC rules again. So it sounds like this discussion happened on Monday between Jan and a few other folks. Does anybody want to?
Yeah, it's the discussion we had regarding, I think this was brought up by Patrick. And it's basically what we've been talking about, which is to figure out what's needed to get, I believe at that point was E2E running properly. But so the summary was to either pursue an add-on, which I don't think we're doing, lobby for a new role definition, and the third one is probably what's going to happen is proper documentation at this point for 112.
So the challenge, as I understand it, is that external provisioner used to do leader election through some very heavy-handed mechanism, which used to hammer the API server. Then in the last release, Matt Wong and those guys came in and tried to fix those issues by introducing a proper leader election in Kubernetes, which relies on the creation of an endpoint object.
That's correct.
And of course, any new object that you create needs RBAC rules set up to allow permission to use it. That's and correct. Those rules were not set up. And therefore, when you deploy by default, the sidecar container doesn't have the correct permissions and will fail.
Right.
And so the proposed fix is to add the role definition in Kubernetes, which it looks like there's a PR out for. I believe this one. Or no, there's another PR. Or maybe it's just an ongoing discussion. I need to follow up and check on that. And then if that doesn't work, document it for the role instance, which is really, really bad. Basically what that means is that if somebody upgrades their driver to this, it will stop working and they need to manually install additional RBAC rules, which is pretty bad. And then the third solution is this new lease object. What's the deal with this?
So I think Jan has brought that up as instead of using, because I think endpoints may require more access, so more rules or more than the lease object. Right. And I think that's what he was bringing that up.
Okay.
And then the other thing, I don't know if that was documented, but I think the attacher uses config maps. So we have one is using config map and one is using endpoints at this point. And then Jan was suggesting to use lease.
Yeah, it sounded like the lease object was added recently. And it seems to be dedicated for later election purposes. And so Jan's argument was that it is the right way forward, but we probably just can't get to it this release.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, we should be using the lease object then. All right, I'll take a look at these PRs and hopefully we can get a non-manual fix merged for the time being. And then moving on, postcode freeze tasks, end-to-end testing is currently in progress. Looks like it surfaced RBAC issues. Kubelet device plugin registration mechanism moving to beta. How are we doing in terms of documentation for this?
It's documented.
Okay.
I've had a couple rounds of reviews.
Perfect. And
so it should be done today or tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. So that's looking good. On the snapshot side, looks like the Kubernetes website documentation's merged. There was these three objects that are 4 items that we wanted to capture. I think I LGTM'd that PR as well, Xing.
Yes, that's much. Thanks.
That's good. Then Kubernetes CSI documentation was work in progress and current status is...
well, actually, I need to change it. It's the different one now because this one uses the pod, so we don't want to use that anymore. And there was another PR on... I'll change the PR. Yeah, perfect. That one needs to be reviewed.
And then blog post... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. So, Jen, you mentioned we don't want to use the pod. Is that?
Oh, the example because Patrick said there is some race conditions. So right. Yeah. So,
no, what I was asking is, should we update that everywhere we're using the host path as an example?
So right now, I think there's an issue open for updating that example because right now it's using a pod, right? So it takes some time to replace all the examples. That's why because I initially used that example, I added a snapshot on top of it, but then since we need to replace the whole example, so I marked, so I probably should not be.
All right, if you have a PR for that doc, I'd like to take a look at it because that's what I'm.
Oh, okay. Does he? Okay, this is just a issue. Yeah. So I do have example for I have example for the YAML file for using the Stafford set, but that's just for the provisioner and the snapshotter. But if we need it for the whole thing, then I need to try because probably we need the daemon set because for the node. So that part I have not tried. I do have some example on that's on the external snapshot repo. We do have some example YAML files.
Okay.
Jay, can I assign this to you to just fix the example to begin with?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Thank you. Why are you not part of this repo?
I think I should work with Patrick as well because I don't know because he need to do that for the E2E testing. I'm not sure what example he's using right now because he said since there are race conditions, but I will check with him. I
Right.
don't know if he's still using this or what.
The code is still a pod. And
Okay.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Yeah, I can try that with the daemon setup. I wonder if that's the case, we have to just use daemon setup for everything, because for the host paths, you just have to use the same pod. I think. I don't think it works if you use 2 pods. Okay, I'll give it a try.
Okay. We should also get you added to the Kubernetes CSI organization.
Oh, thanks.
That's weird. All right, cool. Blog post is currently looking very good. I took another look at it. Next up is Kubernetes end-to-end tests. So that sounds like it's still work in progress.
Oh yeah. So that one. So we do have some tests. It's just needs more testing. So my coworker has those tests written, but he hasn't submitted it yet. So
okay.
I think
put the PRs out just to start the review process.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to him. Yeah, I think I'll try to submit that tomorrow. Yeah.
Sounds good. Next up is passing workload information to CSI. This is Kubernetes CSI documentation. Did we end up getting documentation around this? Does anyone know?
No, I didn't get any update last week, so probably not.
Okay. So then there's do not require attach operation, which also needed documentation. So we'll leave both of these as unupdated, and we'll hopefully get an update next week or on Wednesday. Then CSI cluster driver registry. Luis has the PRs out for this. So we'll go ahead and mark that as orange. And then new node status field for CSI drivers. External attacher updated. External provisioner updated. These PRs are out. Integration test for RBAC of CSI node info having issues. First to use API extensions and lots of info issues.
Yeah, that PR is outstanding.
Okay. Cool. And the external provisioner should be updated to handle topology. This is just the topology external provisioner PR, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this PR for the integration test is on Kubernetes or?
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to get someone from API machinery to review it.
Okay. Update Kubernetes CSI docs if needed. Cool. And finally, Chang address issue where driver registrar updates node annotation, even if it's set to kubelet registration mode. Is this a new issue?
That's been around for a while. I was pinging in the Slack channel to see if anybody's interested in picking it up. But before we cut the driver registrar, we should get that fixed.
Okay.
It should be a small issue. It should be a fairly quick.
Anybody interested in picking this up for today? We'd ideally like to get it merged before end of day today.
What is it?
Driver registrar. Do you want to explain it, Chang?
Yeah. So basically, right now, if kubelet registration if driver registrar is set in kubelet registration mode,
right,
it still posts the node information through annotations from the driver registrar today. So we end up with a race between the driver registrar and the in-tree kubelet registration.
Okay.
We just need to have the driver registrar, stop posting once that mode is set.
Yeah. You may want to wait until mine goes in, because if not, you're going to have
That's what I was about to say. Then.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at that, and I'll reach out to you offline.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Vlad. All right, cool. That's all that I have today. We'll reconvene on Wednesday. So between today and Wednesday, the things that should happen, the PRs that we have outstanding should be merged. For the external sidecar containers, the host path driver should be updated, and we should cut the new 0.4 branch for all sidecar repos, cut RC1 branch tag, and then 0.40 containers for all sidecars. And then on Wednesday, we can do further end-to-end testing to verify things actually work, and hopefully we have a good answer for the RBAC issue by then. That's it. Anything else anybody wants to talk about?
I was just going to say that in the host path driver, if we wait till tomorrow, I can have the drivers repo also pushing, do the same format where they automatically push 0.4, right?
Okay. Then maybe just update the host path driver to ensure whatever changes are needed are ready.
Yeah, and then I'll just start doing it for the same style for everyone's, and then that way Travis will take care of pushing everything up. Is that okay?
Just
Yeah.
check up
that
with
should be
me.
fine. Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'll review your changes, Louis, so we
Okay.
can get it in there so I can start working on the other stuff.
That would be great.
All right.
I do have one update. I'm working on my Portworx driver for 0.3.0 for snapshot support.
Awesome.
And it's working pretty well. The only thing I noticed is that CSI test is missing more tests to test snapshot. So I put in an issue for that, and I signed it. I try to see if a new person can come in and help us with that. A new person wants to help with the project. Second thing is that Vladimir was asking for example project, and example driver for CSI.
No, so what I was pointing out is host path a good representation of a CSI driver since it's using host path as a driver?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I may have a solution for that, and I'll propose it hopefully next week.
All right.
That's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree. I don't think host path is generally a very good good for tests because it breaks so many of our assumptions. So if we can,
but it's not just tests. It's just like, so it's more of a kind of an adapter of host path because it's using internal host path to do everything really. So is it a good representation? I mean, for newcomers, you're looking at the YAML, you're like, well, I'm setting up host path, but yet I'm using host path. Where's that coming from? So that's what I was.
Yeah,
that's what I was
completely agree. In our documentation, if we can minimize host path as much as possible, that would be good because that would lead to less confusion. So any of you that are touching documentation at this point, if you see host path as an example, change it.
Change it to what?
Well, yeah, that's because the documents that we have right now, the one example, the shining example that we have is the CSI host path driver.
Yeah, so it's just you need someone who can get started easily, right? So they need to be able to use it without any storage backend that you can't show them a driver that they don't have storage backend to test with, right? So it has to be something that they can easily test with.
Yeah, that's why
it's definitely useful.
Yeah, that's why I think I may have an answer. I may have a cluster-wide. It's like the implementation of our. Anyway, I'll provide it next week. I don't want to take any more time. See if I can do it. So.
It's a valid point, though. Okay, thank you very much. Reconvene on Wednesday.
All right, see you.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.